Namaste
Namaste
Techies.
Techies.
Namaste Anoop.
Namaste Harjit.
Hey, we both have an Apple Watch.
Yay! Again.
Yay! Cool. So, how's it going in Desh Pradesh, India?
Going cool. It's kind of rainy season over here where I'm at the moment is so enjoying
Okay.
the rain. Right.
So I'm hearing a lot about the heat wave in Europe right now. Apparently, there's a huge heat wave. I don't know whether it has
Yeah.
come over towards India or not, but I
Nah,
guess not.
nah,
It's just
nah.
rain.
Yeah, it was an interesting experience when I was in UK, right? So there was like a heat wave at that time also. Not this much, but it was around 2018 to 2025, etc. Right?
Uh-huh.
Degree Celsius, and it was causing a lot of trouble for me because I didn't had the fan, the ceiling fan or table fan or something. I was not prepared for that, right? So
Oh no.
so
Oh
yeah,
no.
it was an interesting experience. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we get that here in the US every now and then, right? And depending on different
Mhm.
areas, it can be pretty brutal.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah,
And
otherwise it's just
and
cold.
air condition is common in US, or how is it like a
It is
normal
pretty
house?
common, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Even we have a couple of air conditioners in my house.
Oh.
Um, Even though Vermont is generally cold
Yeah,
most of the year.
I know.
Yeah. So, but when we have the summers, it can get hot, right? So you're not
Oh.
completely used to it
Mm,
uh, because it's so short, and then you're always in the cold.
yeah.
So yeah, but we try to take advantage as much as we can. Uh, the it's all about the humidity, right? If you don't have the
Mm,
humidity, you can tolerate it better. Yeah.
yeah.
So, anyways, get back to tech today. Technology. Let's
Technology.
bring the heat
That's
wave to the technology side of things.
yeah. That's a good.
So, what were we talking about today?
Probably we will go with SQL in Azure, right? What SQL? SQL queries in Azure. Is that even possible? No.
SQL queries in Azure. Okay, are you talking about things like KQL?
Oh, that's called KQL. Oh man.
So our friend Rod Trent, he's like the
Uh,
superhero of KQL.
yeah,
I
he's the
mean,
master of KQL, I would say,
the
right?
master of KQL. He's using it for security,
Yeah,
and
Sentinel thing, right?
Sentinel.
Sentinel.
Exactly, and I think he's even started like not to say a certification, but like a recognition. He has like a training
Yeah,
series, and then you can get an award for it, and
yeah.
you're a KQL expert or something like that, right? So we can put that information in our YouTube as well. So
He's
yeah, go for
always
it.
innovative, right? He's always innovative. He comes up with something new always. Right? My
Yeah, he
IT
does. He
forum
does.
thing and all of all these years, after all these years, he's coming up with new KQL stuff and a lot of innovation over there also for the community, right? So that's great.
Exactly. He hasn't stopped. I mean, he just keep going. We've known him for many years now,
Yeah.
so it's been fun, and I get to work with him internally, right, at
Hmm.
Microsoft. So it's cool. He's doing
Yeah.
amazing. So let's
Good.
take a little bit of what he does and showcase that
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. Sure. Let me share my screen first and then we'll go with that. Okay. Hopefully, I'm going to share the correct screen. I'm still searching for the screen. Okay. I think this is the one. Um, okay. So let's start from MEM Admin Center console or portal. And let's let's some send some data to Azure to so that we can play around with KQL, right? By
Yeah.
default, probably Intune is not sending any data. For example, Intune platform logs, right?
Yeah.
That is not by default sent to Azure portal or log analytics. You need to configure it, right? So if you go to tenant administration and if you go to diagnostics settings, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and you can do it from two places. One is from reports. Okay, in reports also there's a node called diagnostics settings. If you go over here, you can add this option to send all the
Setting.
platform logs to log analytics, right? For
Mm-hmm.
example, if I click on this, you can give it a name, diagnostic setting name. I can say how to Namaste Techies, right? Namaste
Right.
Techies diag logs. Okay, and I can select the categories. What are the categories available for Intune platform, right? So these are the four categories available for Intune platform: audit logs, operational logs, and device compliance devices, right?
And
This will send the
devices.
device details. This is kind of audit logs. If you want to kind of check who created the policy, or if you want to check who deleted the policy, or who deployed or assigned that application, or who I don't know, lot of audit things you can check with this audit logs,
Which is
right?
very useful. Yeah.
Mhm. And if you are an a config MGR or SCM admin, you are very familiar with. Normally, you should be very familiar with audit logs. There are
Yeah.
lot of default audit reports available in SCM, and I always get questions about audit logs. Oh, who deleted this package? Can we find out that? Yes, in SCM also, probably in Intune also, using the KQL queries, right? Probably, and
Mm-hmm.
and it is available in Intune MEM Admin Center portal also, but it is not always stored there, right? It will kind of get vanished after a specific time period. Okay,
Right.
so it is always better to send this log files to log analytics workspace, and then you can retrieve it from there, or you have a lot of other options also, right? One of the option, destination details. This is where we are sending the logs. Okay, destination details, you have option to send it to log analytics workspace, and the other option is to you can store it in a storage account, right? If you
Right.
want to store it forever, maybe. I don't know whether it's worth or not, I don't know, but there's an option. And even hub, and you can integrate with other partner solutions, etc. That is really useful, right, in some scenarios. Okay, so in this scenario, I'm going to go with log analytic workspace, and I'm going to use the default subscription. If you don't see your subscription over here, right, in the drop down, then you need to go to over here, right, in the directories, subscription, and make sure all subscription is selected over there. Okay, so if
Okay.
you go over here, you need to make sure that the all subscription is selected from here, right? Otherwise it will show only one directory, and maybe that is not the correct one for your log analytics workspace. Okay, so once you are done, you just need to save it, and you just need to wait. You should have some patience, right? uh, and it is going to take some time to replicate or start replicating and create some tables. So I'm going to cancel this because I already have it readily available and running. I already configured it before, so I'm going to cancel it, and I'm going to look into this, right? For example, if you want to edit After configuring, if you want to edit it, you have that option also, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see I am sending it to Intune diagnostics data. That is my analytics workspace name. Okay, and you can see it is already there, right? So if I there are different ways to access log analytics workspace. From here you can access it if you want. You just need to click on the log analytics and it will take you to that workspace. Okay, and in the workspace, if you go to workspace, you can see different options over here. You don't need
Mm-hmm.
to worry about all these things, right? If you are newbie, or if you care about only some troubleshooting or KQL queries, etc., then you just need to go to logs. Okay, that is the playground. This is the playground for KQL queries and KQL query learning, etc., etc., right? And as you can see, there are a lot of things over here itself if you want to kind of learn. Okay, if you want to learn things, you have a lot of options. And I think Rod shared some of the interesting stuff where you can have a sample workspace, which is Microsoft created sample workspace, log analytics
Yeah.
workspace. Against that, you can run lot of queries, right? Lot of queries. But unfortunately, in that database, in that workspace, I don't think Intune data is there. Okay, so you cannot run Intune related KQL queries or against Intune tables, right? So that is
Right.
not possible with that sample database. This is similar to graph API sample thing, which we had shown our viewers, like I think three episodes before, I think.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so let's go into this. So this is the table, Intune tables, you can see over here, right? So if your data is synced from Intune platform to log analytics, then you would be able to see all these four tables. Okay, so if the tables are not getting populated, that means either you need to wait, or you have some problem with your configuration, or
With
I
the
have seen,
configuration settings. Yeah.
yeah, or I have seen some sync issues in between Intune service and log analytics, right? Recently I had that issue. I created this diagnostic settings probably a week before, and it took 5 days or 6 days to sync up, create all these tables. Then I was searching in the Twitter, and I came to know there was a known issue, and other users also complaining about that, or raising questions with Intune support account in Twitter, right? They are very, very useful. I find it very useful to get all the information, and they are very responsive and helpful, I would say. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's go into some of the stuff, right? The basic stuff, how to run KQL query. It is pretty easy. For example, if you want to check, for example, if you are like SCM admin, you normally, what you normally do is select star, right?
Yes.
Select star from, I don't know, v underscore system or something like that, right?
Right.
uh, this is similar thing, but this is different format, right? uh, if you go and use this, okay, you will see all these options, right? The options are coming up by default over here. So if you want to use a where, you will see where option over here. Then it will show you what are the properties available, or what are the attributes
Yeah.
available under that table, or not attributes, right? Probably the columns under that table. I don't know the correct technical word for it, but it is, if you expand it, you would be able to see all these, right? So this is a table from my perspective. This is one table, and inside that table you would be able to see all these things. And if you want to know more about tables, there's a preview version of tables somewhere. I have seen it. I'm not able to see it now. Yeah, it is here, over here. So I'm not going to go into that now. Let me open that from in another
Another
tab.
tab.
That,
Okay.
yeah, that is useful in this scenario, right? That's so if you open this table node, you would be able to see Intune workspace and inactive in interact interactive
Interactive.
retention, yeah, interactive retention, etc., right? So this is useful. And if you want to kind of go into manage table, you would be able to see different settings over here within that particular table, right? So if you want to learn what is in the table and how it is structured, etc., there are some options available here, right? But it is you cannot expect the same as the SQL tables in I don't know, SSC for SCCM database or something like that, right? So yeah, let's um, go back to audit logs. For example, I'm going to select only that particular table and click on run. Okay, so it might not return anything. Yeah, expected. It was weekend. I didn't work on this my lab on the weekend probably, right? So this is the thing, right? Time range. You need to change the time range to probably a custom one if you want to get the data from last 1 month or something, right?
Hmm.
You can do that over here. If you click on custom, and you can go back to June, from June 1st to June 30th or something like that, right? June 1st, and then you can do that. But for this, I'm taking only last 7 days, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm selecting this Intune audit logs. This will give me the audit log details, right? So which are the applications or configuration deleted, etc., those kind of thing. Okay,
There we
so
go. Yeah.
you can see lot of things. Operational name, that is the primary key, probably that is why it shows up front over here, right? So create Windows quality update profile. Somebody created Windows quality update profile, and probably that was on patch Tuesday. Okay,
Hmm.
so I might be the one who created that. Okay, that's good. So so you can see there are different things: configuration policy,
Right.
created device management, feature update. um, a lot of things are here in the last 7 days. What are the things we did, right? So that information is um, very useful in some scenarios. Okay,
And you also
so
have the columns that you can scroll to the right. I'll give you other fields, right?
yeah, yeah, properties and all those things you
Mhm.
can, and you can expand it over here also, right? If you
Right.
expand it, you would be able to see, okay, operation name, what is the operation name? And it says quality, create Windows quality update profile. Okay, that is the operation name. And you can check the properties if you want to go into details, and you can check the categories for each of the updates. Probably will have different qualities. I have not gone into that much details, like for each category, what is the meaning of each category, right? For example, what does that mean by 10, right? What is the meaning of category 10? I don't know, right? So there are a lot of opportunities to learn from this, and you can this is very useful in troubleshooting scenarios. For example, I have seen that you can just copy this operational name, and you can create
You
a
can just
query over here.
filter for
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
operation name, and you can say, okay, equal to, if it is if it is create Windows quality update profile, then you should project probably okay, let me run this first, then we'll see. Okay, so there is only
Okay.
one audit log for this in the last 7 days, that is expected. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now what we can do is, if you want to filter out with or project something, or if you want to print something, right? For example, if you want to show some specific details, you can say, maybe I want to show the category name. I know the category name. Maybe we'll say source system. Okay, from where it is coming. Okay, it is no irrelevant for Intune, basically, because all these are coming from Intune. But just to show you, okay, it is not coming. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. Okay, project category. Let's try category. Oh, okay. Category, it is coming, and the category is audit logs. Okay, so you can use different project options over here. Type, you can say type what is happening, what will happen if you say type, and it shows Intune. The type is Intune audit log. Okay, if you go back to the previous results, you would be able to see type over here. See, type,
Yeah.
that type is, we were projecting that particular type, right? So
Yeah.
this is kind of a JSON format property, right? As you can see over here, if you want to convert that JSON into a text, and you if you want to query and project something, that is also quite possible, right?
Yeah.
Well, that is kind of a complex scenario. Probably we'll show that as a last one, right? And then we'll continue with, for now we'll continue with some device part. Okay, for example, okay, if I want to check something about the devices, let's check the device details from this query. So you would be able to see different types of devices available
Device
in
names.
the
Yeah.
lab. Yeah, device names. And if you expand this, you would be able to see operation name, result, source, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
device ID, OS version. This would be interesting, right? If you want to search only for Windows 11 devices, you can search with OS version. You can just
Right.
put a var command, and you can say, oh, okay, this, if this is greater than, for example, where OS, where is that? OS,
OS.
what was OS, right?
OS version. Yeah.
Yeah, OS version is this one, and you can say, I don't know, equal to, or I don't know what are the options
Greater
available.
than.
Yeah, I don't think that option is there. Greater than, I it is there, but I'm not sure. I have not looked into it. So
Mhm.
probably what I do is, I will take this particular version, right, of the OS, and I will say, okay, I want to see this particular version of devices, right? How many are there? And if you want to
Mhm.
project the OS version and the name of the device, you can project that also. Okay,
Yep.
so let's run that, and there's only one device with that version of OS. Now let's change the query and say, contain or something, contains, right? So let's try that. Okay, and let's remove the last part of the thing, and let's run it. And it doesn't like the contain, because it is not efficient, right? As per the query architecture or best practice, I would say, because a contains can return a lot of the values, and it is not very specific, right? And that is not very effective, I would say. That is why there was a underline somewhere in the query when I tried that. So yeah, this is another example in device, and you can see which this device is Azure AD join or a hybrid Azure AD or something like that also. So this is a wrong device example probably, because this is a tenant attached device. Maybe that was a tenant attached device. Okay, so let's take another example over here. Okay, Pro 21, maybe this one. It says co-managed, managed by
Mhm.
co-manage, and you would be able to see hybrid Azure AD join. Join type is hybrid Azure AD join, right?
Yay!
So you you can get all these things done from KQL query, and this is very very dynamic in nature, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
So KQL is actually the language being used for CM Pivot as well.
Yeah. CM
So
pivot is a subset of, I think, KQL, right? I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and KQL, for those that don't know, it stands for Kusto Query Language. And Rod Trent, if you follow his blogs and stuff, he's got a story on how that name came about. Is
Hmm.
it actually comes from the explorer Jacques Cousteau, right? Remember the deep sea
Uh-huh.
explorer? That's
Yeah.
where the name came from. But anyways,
Okay. I can't even, probably I am not trying to pronounce that name. Probably I won't be able to pronounce that name. Okay. You should know your limitations.
it's bad enough with our
Okay.
Indian names, South Indian names are
Yeah, yeah. Or
pretty
some Ramesh or Suresh,
yeah.
something like that. It's so easy. Oh gosh.
Ramanathan,
Yeah.
Dharmasilan. Anyways, no,
Yeah.
so this is good. Was there something else you wanted to show? Or?
No, I just wanted to show how quickly, right, how we can kind of JSON format if you have a format like something like this, right? For example, in the properties, somewhere in the properties, right? If you want to query these kind of values, this kind of attributes or columns, that is pretty easy with the where function, etc., right? But if you have query property something like this, and it shows in JSON format, and you want to query those, then it is kind of bit complex. And as you mentioned, you have we as we mentioned, we have a lot of queries from Rod already available, right? So this is
Mhm.
this is one of his query, and you can not exactly his query, but I did some changes into that to cater for device management configurations, etc., but this is the format. You can extend the JSON, and then you can store it to a variable, right? And then I don't know where the variable is the correct word or not, but and then you can query that, right? So that is pretty straightforward thing. Okay, if you want to check sample one, maybe I can try to run this. Okay, it is trying to check the failure, right? For example, if you have an enrollment failure, you can run this query and find out the enrollment failures, etc., right? So I don't have any enrollment failures in last 7 days. That is why it is not showing up anything. But if you run the operational logs, that table, you would be able to see what is the ESP enrollment, and you would be able to see this property, right? So what we are trying to do is, we are trying to convert this JSON into string, right? So over here, and then using that KQL format to query that this can be very complex. Okay, so you need to spend a lot of time to understand it, and then use this in a testing environment first, and
Right.
then try to do it in production if you are confident enough, right? You are not
Yeah.
going to break anything, because what is that, limitations are put in place by default.
Safety
uh,
mechanisms.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's correct. So you can try it, but I recommend to do it in pre-production or testing environment first to learn
Yep.
it, then move it to production. Yeah.
Yep. No, this is great. A lot of info, a lot of understanding where to go set the diagnostic settings and log analytics and all that stuff. It's just tons of data
Mm-hmm.
available at your disposal, like you mentioned. And people run, they have thousands of devices that they manage and and users as well in their environments. So it's very easy. I mean, not to say easy, but feasible to pull data
Yeah.
and then save it and export it and share it for reports and things like that. Yeah.
Once you are used to it, then it is pretty. If
Mhm.
you have a template, right? For example, how to get the properties value and how to convert that JSON, etc.
Right.
Then if you do it 5 times, you are expert.
Yeah. And also, like, when you're doing typing the queries, I mean, it kind of pre-populates, makes, it makes uh, predictions on what you're trying to find.
Yeah.
So, which is really helpful. Like you said, you're trying to find something for OS, and you start typing OS, it gives you the list, and then you just keep going. So
Yeah.
it's great. So yeah, I think this is an awesome demo. Definitely going to be useful for our viewers. So with that said, it was a great show, and we gotta ping Rod Trent on Twitter when we post this video. So because we talked a lot about him on
Uh-huh.
this one,
Yeah.
dedicated to him, I guess. So
Yeah.
so all right. So until next time, you know where to find us,
And
and
don't forget to share, subscribe, like, and share it again,
share it
and put
again.
comments.
Yeah. Come on, people. We need more subscribers. Get us there. We're getting to our goal, and it's good.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for listening, for watching us, for giving us our space, and we'll come up with more cool things to share next time. All right.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Namaste.